Before beginning my presentation, I believe necessary a small introduction about who we are and where we are. The Regional Ministry is the agency of the regional government of Andalusia with competence on agriculture, livestock, fishing, environment, water, land use, urban planning, so it's a big ministry. And where we are, of course, we are at the south of Spain. We live in a region with the same size like a small or medium state of European, like Portugal or Ireland, more or less. And we stay in front of Morocco, of course, and we share with Morocco the same environment. Andalusia, like all regions in Spain, has a high level of self-government. Just to give some impression about geography and landscape of Andalusia, I show some pictures. It's important to understand the framework of our project in the Enerscape program. This is a typical image, touristic image, sun and beach. And this is other typical image, sun and beach and golf. It's a less wild image than other, but not only that is Andalusia. You can see at the bottom mountain. The height exceeds 3,000 meters. And in the first plane of the image, an example of historical building. And this is our most important economic sector, the agriculture. Specifically, it's an image of olive groves that is more or less the 16th of total surface of the region, something like 1.5 million hectares. And many olive groves in a flatland, in a mountain, of course, anywhere. And more agriculture, other type of crops, like irrigated crops, for example, or like greenhouse, plastic house maybe, which grow strawberry, tomato, and cucumbers for Nordic customers of Europe. It's a very intensive agriculture. And new land use for new energy landscape. It's an example of a thermosolar plant near Seville. Actually, they are 4 towers like this one. And of course, a wind park. I think the Andalusia is a very empty region, and we have a possibility to a very big RIS installation. So it's not very good for our landscape, but so quickly, what we do and why we participate in Enerscape project. Our department inside the regional ministry is the Environmental Information Network of Andalusia. We call it the REDIAM. And it was created by a law, etc., which aims to integrate all environmental information in Andalusia. So we have a very big and very useful data collection. In this network, we have a specific line of work about landscape. In the image, you can see the landscape map of Andalusia and typical schedule of description. And the name is System of Shared Information on Andalusian Landscape. It's shared because it's transversal issues in many regional ministry. And a part of the landscape system is the visibility system of Andalusia. It's a representation of the visual relationship for a grid of observation points, one for each hectare into a 15-kilometer radius. These relationships are expressed through different parameters called visual parameters. It's too expensive, this kind of product, in line of John said before. And one of these parameters is the additional height, and it's a very useful in visual impact assessment, for example, for a height installation like a wind park. In summary, the overall framework is this one. The REDIAM is the Environmental Information Network of Regional Ministry, with a line of work about landscape, and this line of work includes the visibility system of Andalusia that was born with the Enerscape project. So the visibility system was born for, and thanks, the Enerscape project. Also, for us, the Enerscape project is an opportunity to develop criteria for landscape integration of ERRS energy facilities. Our main goal is to test a new methodology and a new tool for evaluate the landscape impact in a region with large landscape that we have seen in the photo. So it's a global framework of Enerscape project. To present our main outcome, I will explain very briefly the elaboration of scenario for our pilot area. So very briefly, our pilot area is in the Strait of Gibraltar, in the south of of Andalusia. It's just this one. It's a big area. It's 4 municipalities. And of course, with many cultural heritage and share our biodiversity with Morocco. That you can see in the green in the map is the natural area, more or less. In yellow you can see the agricultural area, and in red is the port of Algeciras. It's a very important port for Spain, because for the geography situation, of course. And in this map, you can see the natural protected area in our pilot area. We have natural park, we have natural monuments, historical heritage, and biosphere reserve. They call the biosphere reserve of Andalusia and Morocco. It's very useful for European project. And in this map, the wind potential. In red, you can see a zone with 10 meters per second of wind speed. So the energy potential of this zone is very, very high. And of course, at the moment exist 37 wind farms for 583 megawatt installed, and 5 new wind farms planned. So the methodology that we have followed, in a territory there are many factors, and we estimate the potential impact that a new or existing facility may have on them. This is a normal procedures, and the new issue, our contribution, I think, is the calculation of visibility frequency. So this is an environmental impact map. It's born by the sum of the environmental factors like biodiversity, flooding risk area, or flora, fauna, the normal in this kind of study. And this is the visibility, the visibility map. With the visibility system of Andalusia, we will try to calculate the visibility depending for the number of observers that they are in the territory. I mean, normally in a city or in a road, they are more observers than in a field or in a wood. And the system includes this issue. I think it's the most important difference, because the system calculates the visual frequency depending the number of potential observers they are in the territory. And this is the final map, the union between environmental impact and visual impact. We call it landscape impact. Of course. And then, with the action of our action plan, we try to correct this impact. In our pilot area, for example, a new rule established that the wind park with very high landscape impact can't renew their operating license. Our case is different for the other partner because we have, in this moment, many wind parks. So our action plan tried to correct the existing landscape impact, not the future landscape impact. So it's other action of the action plan, but I think it's not very important. And about capitalization. To finalize my presentation, I highlight our next action for capitalization. In the framework of our competence and concerning the integration of the landscape impact in the wind farm impact assessment. So we will prepare a CD book for dissemination of our experience in Enerscape project, contain a guideline about landscape integration of wind farm in Andalusia, and the tools, the visibility system model, to calculate the visibility impact, and an example, and this example is the European Enerscape experience. It will be a first scientific publication about these issues in Spanish language. It's the index of our publication. Now we are writing it with the participation of university researchers and other experts in this material. And it focused for RES enterprises and the technician of public body. So the most important is 3 parts: the criteria, toolbox, and a case study. And the case study is the Enerscape experience. And about capitalization opportunities. In our opinion, the implementation of a similar tool like the visibility system, it's a good practice to improve one of the most important impact on the landscape with a wind farm is the visual landscape, of course.